a quick start training that we host every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern for all new associates in IDLife. And I am Jennifer Moran. I'm a National Presidential Director, and I'm going to be joined tonight as well with by Ty Toth, this information with you and help you get started on the road to success here with IDLife. So we want to thank you, Mike Unkelbach, who just texted me and said he can hear me. That's great. Okay, so we're going to get started without any further ado. And this is really, guys, what we are hoping to lay out for you, just a roadmap to success and how to create your quote-unquote IDLife 180, how you can really turn your life around financially, physically, and personally, just in every facet possible. And for those of you who are kind of new to IDLife, as you may or may not know, IDLife actually stands for Individually Designed Life. We believe everyone's an individual, and we all have different needs, wants, desires in life, things that we're trying to achieve, and hopefully this will be the vehicle that you will attain that through. So this is our quick start training, and let's get started. The first slide that I've popped up here for you guys, and it may be new for some of you, but this actually comes out of a book that was one of the very first books that I ever read when I first got involved with direct sales back 8 or 9 years ago. Actually, it was in 2005. And it's from a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Kiyosaki is probably best known in the real estate realm. He was very successful in real estate and in financial investing. And he has something that he created called the Cashflow Quadrant. And so what I want you to do as a guest here tonight is take a look, or, as a new associate tonight, take a look at that middle circle, and you'll see E, B, S, and I. And you need to figure out kind of where in this cash flow quadrant you fall. Are you an employee or are you self-employed? Because in that case, basically you either have a job or you own a quote-unquote job by having a small business or something like that. The other side of the cash flow equation, it says business owner and investor. And that's where instead of you working for money and or people, you have people and money working for you. And that's where you either own a system where people work for you, or you're plugged into a system where money is working for you. And really, if you want to break it down, about 97% of the population falls on the left side of that cash flow quadrant. 97% of the world out there are either employees or they are self-employed with small businesses. Now, most small business owners will tell you, a lot of times, I don't own my own small business. My small business owns me, because they have to deal with payroll and, all kinds of other issues, lots of overhead and, the whole 9 yards. So that's where you would fall if you fall into those two categories. Now, I was a cardiovascular specialty rep for about 15 years of my life. And so obviously when I first got introduced to direct sales, I fell under the employee side of things, where I had a job and I was basically trading time for money, and I had no leverage in my life. I got paid basically 3 months out from when a doctor would write a prescription for a drug. I got paid one time. I could have made a whole lot more money if I got paid every time that patient popped that pill into their mouth for a lifetime. That would have been residual income versus linear income. So that's huge. Identify where you are on that. Now, I'm going on the assumption that 97% of you fall on the left side of that equation. And so, it's kind of hard when you're coming out of an employee mindset where you're basically told what time to get up, what time to be at work, what time you can take lunch, how many weeks of vacation you can have. You have to ask for permission for more time off or more days off, or to take your child to the doctor or what have you. It's kind of hard to go from that mindset of being so task-oriented and so controlled to being in an environment over here with direct sales where basically you're going to be in control of your destiny. You are technically becoming a business owner. So that's kind of a mentality shift, and I want to help you guys make that. First of all, I want to congratulate you on your decision to use network marketing as a vehicle to attain your dreams. In fact, I'm a big believer in documentation beats conversation. And so, if you were kind of coming into this as I was back when I first entered direct sales 8 or 9 years ago, under the impression of, I don't know, what I really think of direct sales or network marketing. I just want you to know, guys, that direct sales is a huge industry. And it's very much touted by successful people and respected by successful people. In fact, I read a great book. I think it was published in '04, but I read it, or '06 maybe, but I read it in 2008. But it was titled Why We Want You to Be Rich. And it was by Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki. And chapter 27 actually is titled Why We Recommend Network Marketing. And they give a lot of really good insights in there as to why you want to become involved in that stream of income, to get involved in network marketing as a stream of income. They give all kinds of suggestions in this book, from investing in real estate to investing in stocks and bonds and things of that nature. But they also recommend network marketing as a great vehicle to wealth. So, and part of the reason they do that is because you get to plug into this system. Okay, and these are some of the things you want to keep in mind as you go into IDLife and as you enter this business and as you enter this industry of direct sales, especially. I want you to understand that this business that you just plunked down $399 for is not just paying $399 for a second, third, or fourth job. This is a business. You own it. It's a willable, sellable, transferable business. Now, that was huge for me as a working mom with 3 children. I mean, because I had the Texas Medical Center here in Houston as my territory. I worked very, very hard, harder than most. I was a district trainer. I was a cylinder lead. I won all kinds of different contests for my pharmaceutical company. And that's great and all, but if I stepped off a curb and got hit by a train down in the Texas Medical Center, my income stopped. That was it, done. But not in direct sales. You actually are not getting paid here for what you do, but for what you start. You're getting to tap in to what typically only people who have investments in oil and gas, or they've written a best-selling book or a best-selling song, things of that nature, are ever able to tap into. You own this business and you're able to franchise yourself. But in order to do that, you've got to be coachable. You've got to be teachable. You have to plug into the system that's already created, which is what Trump and Kiyosaki claim or tout as being such a big advantage to becoming part of a network marketing business, is the fact that there's a system here that's already created for you. And if you just use the tools and keep what you're doing duplicatable, then you'll be able to duplicate your efforts and at some point walk away from the business and still get paid. Now, the reason I threw up that little picture of Hamburger University, I want you guys to see it. I want you to know it exists. Because a little story that I often share with my team about being duplicatable was the fact that in my former direct sales company prior to IDLife, I had the opportunity to work alongside a gentleman who he and his brother owned 32 McDonald's franchises. And he was very excited to get into network marketing. And it's typically a lot of successful business owners will definitely see this opportunity in direct sales as a good way to tap into residual income and run with it. And this gentleman certainly did. And one of the things Mike taught me out of the gate is the fact, we had a discussion about this, is he said, Jennifer, do not reinvent the wheel. Just use the tools that they've given you, plug into the system, and teach that to your team. He said it's the reason that McDonald's is so successful. Because if you think about it, is McDonald's the cheapest hamburger on the planet? Probably not. Is it the best hamburger on the planet? No. But who sells the most hamburgers on the planet? McDonald's. And it's because they're consistent and they're duplicatable. If you walk into any McDonald's on the globe, I don't care if you're in Rochester, New York, or if you're in Russia, the drive-through is always on the left. The bathrooms are always on the right. Everything is always arranged the same. And every single franchise owner that comes into McDonald's, in fact, I believe it trickles down all the way to their employees. They all attend at some point Hamburger U, literally. And that is where they are taught the McDonald's way, the McDonald's system. And, and we all know, if you're old enough to remember the commercials about how you build a Big Mac, it's 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. You don't become a McDonald's franchise owner and get to throw jalapenos and ranch on your Big Macs just because you like them. You do it their way. And that's how you duplicate it. That's how you build wealth. Okay. So that's key. So all you really want to do here is be a student of the game, figure it out, and don't mix the invitation with the presentation, which we're going to talk about in a second. You just want to invite people to plug into the system and to take a look at the business using the tools that you've been already given. Okay. So what is this going to take to be successful here? Well, really just three things. First of all, you want to take massive immediate action. And I don't mean that lightly. You have got to hit the ground running out of the gate and give it a 6-month commitment. That's what IDLife180 is about. It's 180 days to achieve your dreams, just life-changing income. Okay, that's the path we want to lay out for you. It could take you longer. It may take you less time. Okay, but this is your IDLife180, and you need to add a little TLC to that. And what I mean by that is you're going to get very involved in team building, which is going to be recruiting and helping build your team. You want to really create a good culture for your team, and then you want to become a leader. You want to learn how to lead by example and take that leadership, by the horns, by the reins, and then teach that to your team so that they can duplicate that leadership. All right. So let's kind of review the comp plan for straight out of the gate, just so that you have an idea of, because there is 14 different ways to get paid here at IDLife, right? But what we want to focus on is what you need to do right out of the gate. So let's review a couple of the slides that you probably saw in the webinar tonight, or you've seen at one of the meetings or on the DVD as you were going through it. First out of the gate is fast start bonus and 3 and free. That's what you want to focus on, right? You basically pay your $3.99, you join IDLife, then you're going to set up your website, basically just name your IDLife business, all right? And once you have your replicated website up and running, you're going to log in to your back office and order your ID nutrition. You're going to take your health assessment, your IDLife assessment, and you're going to order your ID nutrition, right? Now remember, as part of your $3.99, you're going to get that for free. You're going to get that for free, okay? Now, at that point, once you've finished your assessment, you've ordered your ID nutrition, it's all good, you need to get one other customer. Now, that customer may live under your own roof. And if that's the case, that's great. Get your spouse on ID nutrition. Have them take the health assessment. In my household, there's 5 of us, and 3 of us are on ID nutrition, myself, my husband, and my 17-year-old daughter, okay? My 13-year-old's not quite there yet. And my 9, almost 10-year-old obviously is not there yet as well, but we may have a children's line coming soon at some point. You never know. But anyway, so when you get that one outside customer, it can even be in your own household, that triggers your first $100 check, okay, right there out of the gate. Then your next step is to focus on getting your ID nutrition for free for life. And the way you do that is you get 2 more customers, all right? You want to get 2 more customers, just for a total of $300 worth of product, okay? So your 3 customers need to add up to $300 worth of product. You're getting your ID nutrition for free at that point, okay? Now, next thing on the radar, and by the way, that $100 check, the company gives you 30 days to get that done. But I teach my team to get it done in 30 minutes, if not 30 seconds. There is no reason why you can't take your health assessment and get one other person to take that health assessment and order their ID nutrition within no time at all to get your first $100 check. And those checks are cut every Friday. So why wait 30 days? Okay, get it done. All right, now, then the company gives you an additional 60 days, or not additional, but a total of 60 days from the day you join. So a total of 2 months from the day you join to get 6 more customers on top of those initial 3. So a total of 9. And when that happens, they're going to send you another $200 check plus, and I didn't even get to add it into the slide because I don't have the new slide, but once you've got those 10 customers in place, then you not only get 1 order of ID nutrition for free, but you get 2 orders of ID nutrition for free. So that's huge, okay? 10 and free. Now, remember, with those customers, though, you're getting typically a 30% discount on product, right? So when they order ID nutrition, if they're paying retail, okay, you're making 30% on that. But most of your customers, especially on ID nutrition, are going to get that done on auto ship. And if that's the case, then you'll make 20% because they're getting a 10% discount by being a preferred customer on AutoShip. All right. But even with all that in place, guys, just with the $100, okay, right out of the gate for you and one other customer, with the $200 for getting your 6 additional customers, and your commission on 9 customers total on top of that for another $180, that's $580. Plus, you're basically getting a $2,400 value worth of ID Nutrition if you're estimating that the average ID Nutrition order is around $100, okay? Just to keep the math simple. That's like a $2,400 value because you're going to be getting in a single year that value by having those 2 free ID Nutrition orders. All right, so that's huge. So fast start bonus, 3 and 3. That's what you're focusing on. You can also build a team too and leverage yourself that way. Back to Robert Kiyosaki's Cashflow Quadrant, where he talks about you need some leverage in your life. You need to get on the big business and investor side of the equation, okay, where you can have walk-away income and have both time and money, where no longer time and money is, is it time or money? No, it's time and money, okay? Business Builder Bonus is how you do that. Now, the first part's all the same, but this time, if you want to also find 3 people who might want to do the business with you, okay, let's just say it's Bob, Sue, and Mary, sign them up, put them in the business, then every time they order that Business Builder kit, when they sign up direct to you, you're going to trigger a $100 bonus from that. So, because you're basically, they're getting $500 worth of product, technically, $499 worth of product for $300. Okay, but they're going to pay you a commission on that. So that's $100, $100, and $100. That's $300 right there just for Bob, Sue, and Mary joining your team. Now, I know when I launched my IDLife business, I had 15 people that were frontline to me. And with those Business Builder kits in place, okay, that would be $1,500, all right? Plus, you're still getting your 20% commission on those first initial 3 customers, right? You got 1 person on ID Nutrition plus 2 additional customers to get your 3 and free. Well, in that scenario, without getting those additional customers, that's $60. $560 total is what you're making there. So really, if you want to, guys, you can add these 2 screens together because you can get 9 customers plus yourself, and in addition, start building a team where you get Bob, Sue, and Mary on board. And in that case, when you add all that up, you're looking at close to $2,000 right there in fast start income, quick start cash right in your hand. That's huge, okay? So what is your goals for week 1 out of the gate? You just joined IDLife. Well, you want to order your ID Nutrition, get 1 other ID Nutrition customer, trigger that first check. Trigger that first check. Now, you already saw what you want to do over the next 60 days, right, in terms of getting your next 6 customers and all of that. But I would highly recommend that you go ahead and make a written list, all right, a written list, not just, hey, I got 600 names in my cell phone, I'll just call people out of there. Write them down, okay, and you can use this as a memory jogger. You can either use the acronym FRANK, which you'll see if you look at the DVD that gets sent to you in your kit, in your distributor kit, on the Quick Start training in there, Logan refers to this acronym, FRANK. Friends, R is for relatives, A is for associates or associations, like, people that you work with or maybe you go to church with or play softball with. N is for neighbors, anybody that lives in your neighborhood, and K is for kids, not necessarily because you're going to sign kids up, but, kids have coaches, kids have teachers, kids have parents. So think of anybody along those lines. Also, you can use the yellow pages, okay? Not that you're going to cold call people out of the yellow pages, but what I love the yellow pages for is categories. You've got the business categories. You can flip through, and it helps jog your memory of people that you know, accountants, air conditioning repairmen, attorneys, things of that nature, okay? Then you also want to put on the books your first IDLife mixer. Now, remember, your Business Builder kit, they're coming pretty quick now. In fact, I had a gentleman who just signed up in my business. I want to say it was just like 3 or 4 days ago, and he already got his Business Builder kit. So they're coming pretty quick, which is the big box of product, okay? The $500 worth of product. And in that case, you want to schedule your first IDLife mixer probably for, the following week after you join so that you'll have your samples on hand. Or if you don't want to wait, just get your upline involved, which is step number 6 I put on week 1, which is you want to quote unquote meet with your upline leadership. Now, sometimes, in the case of you being out of state and maybe your sponsor or your upline leadership lives in another state, you can do a virtual meeting. You can get on a three-way phone call. You can put together a quick conference call through freeconferencecall.com is the one I use for quick conference calls that I'm trying to put together. And I recommend that you do that anyway. Number one, because you want to schedule your IDLife mixer and get some help with that first mixer. You want your upline to be there if possible. But you also want to share your why. I mean, why are you doing the business? What are your long-term goals? And set some of those goals and use your upline and your sponsor as accountability for achieving those goals. And the sponsors and people that might be listening in on the training who are sponsoring people right now, remember the word sponsor comes from the word responsible, which means you are responsible for the people that you sponsor in the business, okay? By the way, if I've got some other panelists on the line, I can hear you, so mute yourself out if you would, please. There's a little microphone up there, and you can click on it if you've got a control panel there. So just click on that and mute yourself. I appreciate it. Okay. So let's break it down. We're going to look at what you're going to do 30 days, long-term goal, then 60 to 90 days, then 180 days, okay? First thing out of the gate, you want to do what we call the roadmap to RD, which your goal in 30 days beyond your first week is to hit regional director. Now, what is regional director in terms of rank advancement? Because we have several rank advancements here at IDLife, okay? Well, that's basically personal volume of $200, okay, which would be you plus one other ID Nutrition customer, okay, a TQV of $1,200, which I'm estimating would be about 12 customers for the entire team, and I'm just basing this on a $100 average order right now. It may be a little bit less or a little bit more, okay, and then your active legs, and what that means is no, you don't have restless leg syndrome. Active legs means that when you personally sponsor somebody, just like in the example I gave on Fast Start with Bob, Sue, and Mary, okay, just Bob and Sue or Sue and Mary, that would be 2 active legs. And active just means that they are generating at least $100 in product sales or more, okay? Now, the benefit to that, and the reason why you want to hit regional director, is it starts to unlock different nuances or different aspects of our compensation plan. And the first one that I think is absolutely huge is the residual match. At the point of regional director is where you become residual match eligible, okay? And what I mean by residual match is, let's just say you've sponsored Bob, Sue, and Mary, okay? Now, you hit regional director. You become a regional director, but that's all you do, okay? Now, Bob, on the other hand, he not only hits regional director, but he passes you up and goes all the way to national director, okay? Well, because you personally sponsored Bob, he's direct to you, you're going to make a 20% bonus of his check every month. So whatever his check is, let's say he's making $30,000 a month or $100,000 a month, you're going to make 20% of that. Okay, that's huge, considering all you achieved was regional director. And that's a huge aspect of our comp plan, is the fact that you can actually sponsor somebody and have them pass you up, and you still benefit. You still benefit, okay? So that's huge. So that's your goal in 30 days or less, is to hit regional director. Now, your next goal after that is to ramp up to executive director, okay? Now, you guys, you can do this easily in 60 to 90 days. I've seen some people do it out of the gate in 30 days or less, all right? Now, what does executive director look like? That's a personal volume of $350, which technically, if you think about it, if your ID Nutrition is free because you have 3 additional customers, then you're already there. If you're looking at each order of ID Nutrition being roughly $100, let's just say they're getting their ID Nutrition plus they're ordering some shakes and some other stuff, okay, you're there. So your ID Nutrition's free because you have 3 customers that are also on ID Nutrition. So you have no personal volume coming out of your pocket, but yet you're qualified with your PV for executive director. And then the total qualified volume is $12,500. Don't let that number scare you, because that's not just you, that's your entire team. These are customers that are on your entire team. That's only about 125 customers. And guys, that is not hard to do in direct sales, okay? Now, you're going to need 5 active legs to be a qualified executive director, which means you've got Bob, Sue, and Mary. But at this point, you might want to, expand it and kind of share the business and with Frank and Kelly and get them involved as well. And the reason you want to do that is because the benefits are huge. Because now your residual match doesn't just stop at Bob, for example, okay, with 20%. It actually goes down 4 generations. Now, here's where that's really cool, is what that means is it not only will pay you 20% of Bob's income, but it'll sweep below Bob and find the next regional director or above and pay you 10% of their income, and then sweep again and pay another 10% and sweep again and pay another 5%. That is huge. That is absolutely huge, okay? Now, you're also volume match eligible, okay, at executive director 1 generation, meaning that it'll take the total volume and pay you 2% on top of that. Volume match is huge. It's a big, big number. And I know, I'm currently the #1 income earner in the company. Ty Toth is hot on my heels. But I can tell you right now, and I'm sure he'd tell you the same thing, that volume match is the biggest chunk of our check. That thing is huge. So you want to start getting into volume match as quickly as possible. And you do that at executive director. You also get a nice little rank advancement bonus of $750, like just a check. Here you go, $750 for promoting to executive director. Okay? So here's your goal in 180 days. And I'm going to kind of fly through this, and you can see what the qualifiers are for national director, but that's your goal. That's your quote-unquote IDLife180. National director, guys, is where you start hitting life-changing income, okay? It's just a PV of $400. That's only $50 more than what you were doing at executive director. You've got about 250 customers pumping on your team, okay? Customers, not associates, customers. These are people buying product, okay? And associates do qualify for that. Like if somebody comes on board at $399, they're buying $500 worth of product. So that goes into your TQV, don't forget. Okay. And then you need 5 active legs, which you already have that because you got that at executive director. But here's what it does, is it adds more generations to your volume match. It throws another rank advancement bonus at you of $1,250. So now you've just been handed a check for another $1,250 on top of the $750 you just made at executive. You're now in the car bonus pool, starting at $500 a month towards a car. And let me just tell you guys, this is not a get into debt program like a lot of other network marketing companies are with their car programs. This is a true bonus. They give you $500. You can apply that towards the car you're currently driving. You can throw it at debt, whatever. We don't want you to go out and get more debt, but you've earned the car bonus. We're giving it to you, $500. And it goes all the way up to $2,000 a month at Global Presidential Director, so that's huge, okay? Also, too, Global Pool Bonus, okay? Global Pool Bonus is where you start swimming in the global pool, so to speak, and that's where the company takes 2% of their profits, and they split it up amongst the entire company. And at National Director, they take 34% of that 2% and split it up among all the national directors and above. So that's huge right there, okay? Now, you got to understand that readers are leaders, right? You've always heard that catchphrase, and you're going to do a lot of personal development here at IDLife, but here's a couple of books out of the gate that I recommend that you either read, which obviously you're going to get stout advice by our own CEO, Logan Stout, which is a very quick read. It's a thin little book. He actually wrote it for his boys, Miles and Cooper, when they were born. Basically, it's everything that he's learned about success, leadership, entrepreneurship, the whole 9 yards downloaded into this little book. And if you know Logan, he's very direct. So it's a very easy read, very simple to understand, and very blunt to the points that will definitely improve your leadership quality. The other 2 books that I would highly recommend, and I'd also throw Rich Dad, Poor Dad in here as well by Robert Kiyosaki, but in terms of network marketing, one book that you definitely want to order and read would be Eric Worre's GoPro, which is the 7 steps to becoming a network marketing professional. And you definitely want to dig into that. You can either order that or you can always download it on iTunes or audible.com and put it on your iPhone to listen to as you're driving around in what I call your rolling university, which is your car. So as you're going from point A to point B, you can get some quote-unquote credit hours towards IDLife there by listening to GoPro. And then the other book that I actually love on audiobook, in fact, I listen to it a couple times a year, every year because I love it so much, is T. Harv Eker's Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. It's an absolutely amazing book, and it talks about these 17 wealth principles and the 17 ways that wealthy people think that are different. The way they think is so much different from the way the average person thinks. So it's a great book. It's incredible on audiobook. It's not a boring narrator to listen to. In fact, T. Harv Eker reads it himself, and he's hilarious. It's a great book. So I highly recommend those 3 out of the gate, along with Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, for sure. Then also, too, you've got to be prepared. And I want to manage your expectations that you are going to fail forward in this business. It's like learning anything else that's new. You're going to, meet with some stumbling blocks, some obstacles, some rejection, and that's okay. We have IDLife Bootcamp training events that are ongoing. And I highly recommend that when one comes to your area that you plug into it and spend that Saturday from 9 o'clock till 4 o'clock. They're usually all-day events. I know we had one here in Houston. It was from 9 to noon, and it was incredible. I think anybody that attended would tell you so. But that is your quote-unquote hamburger you. That's where you're going to really get even more meat and potatoes than what you're getting here on these little IDLife 180 trainings that we're going to be doing on Wednesday nights. But just be prepared to fail forward. One of my favorite quotes, and I quote it often, not only to my kids, but to my team in IDLife, and that's by Michael Jordan. And he basically said, and you can see it there on your screen, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. And that is the God's honest truth. If you read up on Michael Jordan and his biography, then you'll know that Michael Jordan actually got cut from his, I believe it was his 9th grade basketball team. He didn't make it. And it's my understanding that he failed on free throws. And so he forced himself to go out like every night and shoot like 100 free throws every night before he would allow himself to come in for dinner. And then he upped his game from there, and it had to be, 100 nothing but net shots, So just be prepared to fail forward. Use those experiences. I always tell my kids, you win some, you learn some. It's never you lose some, you just learn some. And, and I know Ty Toth has some of his own insights on this. And I just want you guys to know going forward that Ty will be doing more of this training with us. We're slowly piecing together this quick start training, which is what's so exciting about being part of IDLife right now. Is we're not we're not the settlers, we're the pioneers. We're kind of making the map as we're traveling, so to speak. So, but anyway, I want to welcome to the call tonight Ty Toth. He's going to be introducing our final speaker, who I think you guys are really going to enjoy hearing from. One of the things that you need to know about Ty is that he is an absolute amazing leader. He is a leader's leader in every sense of the word. I've learned so much from him. He has a very strong background, successful background in the banking industry, but he's also a very successful entrepreneur. He's taken a lot of his wealth over the years and invested in real estate. My goodness, he even owns his own private plane, which I'm really jealous. I feel like the whole world's ridden on that plane but me, so I'm going to have to get up there and go with Ty at some point, Ty and Holly. But anyway, and I have to say a huge congratulations to him, too, because he just promoted to National Presidential Director. So he and I are now the only two National Presidential Directors in the company. But I want you guys to listen, and listen up on this one. The highest level in the company is Global Presidential Director, which is 2 ranks above where we are. And nobody's hit that yet. It could be Ty. It could be me. It could be someone who hasn't even joined yet. So, it is wide open. This is the Oklahoma land rush. This is the gold rush. So we're all running hard, and we're excited about this opportunity. So without any further ado, please help me welcome National Presidential Director and currently the #2 income earner who's hot on my heels, Ty Toth.
Hey, Jen, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Awesome job on the training. Can you hear me, by the way?
Absolutely. We can hear you great.
Okay. I just want to make sure I unmuted myself. I appreciate that. And as always, amazing job. Nobody understands what you went through today just to put this together. And for those of you who don't know this, I live in Maryland. Jennifer lives in Texas. So we couldn't just sit down together and put these slides together. So Jennifer volunteered and said, I'll take care of it. And I think she did an amazing job. And I know if you guys out there could clap, that's exactly what you'd be doing if we could hear you. So again, amazing job, Jennifer. Appreciate all your leadership, and we're all really following your example. And and I say this often, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart. There is absolutely no secret as to why you're our top income earner. So we appreciate what you're doing, and we appreciate you sharing and just opening everything up to the entire company. So I know that's the culture here of our company, which is really amazing. And it's just an honor to be a part of that and to be able to partner with you on things like this. So, folks, as Jennifer said, we're going to be doing these every single Wednesday. We had our business presentation webinar started at 9 Eastern. Now we've got these at 10 Eastern. Every single Wednesday, you can count on these. So make sure you're plugging into these. As new folks are joining your team with you, make sure they are taking a look at this. This is awesome information, and it's really given the roadmap to success. So, but what I want to do, without further ado, is introduce, we've got a special guest speaker here. This is someone who has become a very, very good friend of mine. We met, I guess it's about 3 years ago right now. He has an incredible history of success, of winning specifically. And it's interesting how this industry works. As we start building teams, it's often somebody beyond or further down in your organization than the person that you bring into your business personally at your front level that changes everything for you. And we've been very fortunate to have many incredible leaders on our team. But I can tell you, the person I'm getting ready to introduce is absolutely knocking this out of the park. He spent 17 years in the NHL. He's a Stanley Cup champion, actually the only person to be born, raised, and play on a New Jersey hockey team, the New Jersey Devils, and win the Stanley Cup. And he still lives in New Jersey. So total celebrity. Every time I go up there, everybody's going, is that him? Is that him? So obviously Jennifer's got his name up on the screen. Jim Dowd is his name. Now, not only did he have an amazing career in hockey, but he was introduced to direct sales, network marketing with our prior company. And again, we became very good friends. Awesome leader. One of the most genuinely friendly, nice people you could ever hope to meet. You don't know what you're going to expect when you're meeting your first NHL hockey star, right? But he's been an amazing part of our team, growing incredibly. As a matter of fact, he and his wife Lisa promoted to presidential director on May 31st. So we want to obviously congratulate him for that. That's an amazing job to do that in this short a period of time. But Jim, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, awesome. Just want to make sure that you were able to get unmuted also. Jim, man, if you could just spend a few minutes and just share with everybody, and I'm just going to sit back and listen and learn and take some notes, share with everybody what you think are the secrets to your success with whatever you want, whether it's a combination of hockey and IDLife, et cetera. But I'm anxious to hear this from you.
Well, anyway, first of all, I want to thank you for that introduction, Ty. If you were my agent, I'd still be playing. But anyway, for those of you out there, I'm honored to be on this call. And there's a reason why Jen Moran and Ty Toth are obviously the #1 and 2 money earners in the company. Exactly what's going on tonight. So kudos to them. But, Ty just wanted me to talk a little bit about successes I've had. I relate everything. I grew up one of 7 kids, second youngest. I was taught just to work hard, listen to your coach/teacher, have fun, but always do the right thing and surround yourself with good people. And, I retired from the NHL after 17 years. I was 40 years old. And my wife and I had these great ideas that doing nothing the rest of our life would be great. We did nothing for a couple years, and doing nothing is the most unhealthy thing you could possibly do. So we were looking to get into something that was fun and maybe make a few bucks because we weren't really worried about making money. But we got into this industry, and the first thing that I learned in this industry is just like anything else in life, that if you want to be successful, hang around successful people and believe in yourself. And that's the one thing that I stress with my group. I go, you can't worry what anybody thinks about you when you're getting into this industry, network marketing, this or that. Don't worry. It works. It's an amazing thing. And treat this like a business. And that's whether you do 3 hours a week, 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week. But if you only do 3 hours a week, just treat it like a serious business. Make a game plan. I relate everything to sports because that's what I did for a living. So my daily routine is when I'm ready to get the day going, as far as my kids get off to school and I'm in my home office, I don't talk to any human beings about ID Life unless I'm mentally ready. Because our job is just to get people in front of the information. That's the hardest part in this industry. And the more people you get in front of the information, the better chance of success you're going to have. So I've been breaking it down with my group. I said, just picture this. Saturday and Sunday, you do nothing for ID Life. That's fine. But if Monday through Friday, all you ever did was try to get 3 new people every day in front of the information or set up a meeting or get them to a presentation, that would be 15 people a week. That would be 60 new people a month you're trying to get into this business or looking at it. You're going to have a ton of success. And I just went over some training tonight after our Wednesday night presentation up here in Point Pleasant Beach, New Jersey, and we went over all this. But I said, listen, just break it down simple. Don't put any pressure on yourself, but make the time to put this into your life and just set goals for yourself daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, half year, yearly goals. And that's what it's all about. And I know, Jen, you did a great job touching on that earlier, but it's really simple. And I think the biggest thing for me when I first got into network marketing a little over 2.5 years ago, I was like pretty much a majority of the people. I got into, I'll never forget, I got in July 11th, 2 years ago, and did nothing my first 4 months. And then after 4 months, my wife and I decided, hey, let's put this into our life and treat it, serious and see what we can do with it. Once we did that, everything else took care of itself. We didn't worry about the end result. It's worry about the process. And the process is making your list, going over, learning the products, learning your back office, get comfortable with knowing all these things. And then it's a whole process. Then you make your list of people. Then you make that first phone call. You set up 3-way calls. But have a list of what you want to do and what you want to accomplish. And it really is simple. And it's like anything. I mean, I played for some of the most amazing coaches in my career. And I just told this story today. For those of you that don't know, a lot of you I'm sure can remember Herb Brooks, who was the coach of the Miracle on Ice 1980 U.S. Olympic team. And he was my first pro coach ever. And we had no assistance, nothing. The New Jersey Devils went with a youth movement in the minor leagues. We all came out of college or junior hockey, and they sent 9 of us to the minors. Well, he was our coach that year, and he talked more about life than hockey than anything. And he told you, I remember him telling me, he goes, Jimmy, if you're prepared every single day, just get prepared every single day. It doesn't mean you're going to succeed every day, but you know what? You're going to succeed way more than everybody else. I'll never forget that. And he said, just be prepared every day. And you might have 2 or 3 bad days in a row, but if you keep being prepared, it always works out for the better. So just set goals for yourself, believe in yourself, don't worry what anybody thinks about you, and because this is a great business, and I can't tell you the support that you're going to get. Perfect example is the people that set this call up, Jen and Ty Toth, amazing human beings, and they will help out anybody, and that's the biggest thing of what we have going on in this company is that global pool. And Jen, you did a great job explaining that. That is huge. So because everybody wants to help everybody. It's not cutthroat here. That's the best part. But again, believe in yourself, set goals, and think about it. Just call 3 new people a day. Try to get them in front of this business, and you'll have a ton of success.
That's awesome. Thanks, Jim. Definitely appreciate you sharing. And again, I can't think of anybody better to get that kind of insight from than you with just the amazing career you've had. Matter of fact, I'll throw something else out here to everybody that's listening. If you Google Jim Dowd, he's got his own wiki page, I think it's called, right? So a ton of records within hockey, and obviously he's just translated that into the rest of his life. So, man, we really appreciate you sharing. And Jennifer, again, unless you've got anything else to add, amazing job. We appreciate you, everything you're doing, and again, especially putting this together as quickly as you did today. We look forward to talking with everybody next Wednesday. Actually, don't forget to tune into Sunday night's corporate webinar. That's another very important weekly event. Awesome training on that. Actually, I've been honored asked to do a portion of that myself, so I'll be involved in that. And again, we just look forward to everybody's success. Let everybody just reach out to your upline, reach out to us, let us know what we can help you do to help you succeed. Have a great night, everybody.
Great job.
Thanks, Jim.
Good night, everybody.